Yo, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom family, freedom lovers, and freedom fighters. How y'all doing this Sunday morning? January 19th, 2025. Nicolay Moore, good morning to you. No happy Friday? No, ma'am. Wait, when did you post that? Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? I'm extremely late with this live stream. I'm extremely late with this because I knew I was going to have to take time to go through this whole thing. And, you know, again, I was spending a lot of time with my kids, and I was like, well, let me wait until I'm on the road. That way I can really get into it. You know what I mean? And so I got pretty much everything set up for it. And we're going to go through this talking point by talking point. I am going to be playing the video of an individual who is on a campaign to discredit Riyadh season, to discredit what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing with the sport of boxing. And so, you know, you guys can probably guess whose video I'm playing. This is not going to be a personal attack. This is going to be an attack against the talking points, the attack against the argument or the assertions that this individual is making. So that's what this is about. And you know, y'all know I love to do that shit. It's fun as hell. It's fun as hell. I just wish I had my 8 hours a week to really, you know, do content the way I want to do content. But as of right now, this is what it is. So, yeah. Anyway, hope my freedom marcher, freedom family, freedom lovers are good. And I'm about to play this real quick, and we're going to get started on it from the very beginning.
Bruh, I couldn't be more excited, bro, to be a Tank fan right now because of the stance that he's taking with Turki Al-Sheikh. Now, I didn't know he would take this stance. I didn't know that this is what was going on, but y'all all know that my stance on Turki is very clear, bro. I don't try to hide shit from y'all. I tell you the truth. And it is, if he gonna put money in my country and put on big ass events in my country and pour that Saudi Arabia oil money into my country for boxing, oh, I'm all for it. But if he's taking my American fighters and making them go fight in Saudi Arabia, I ain't fucking with him. And I don't want him to run boxing.
Let me start here, okay? He says, basically, if Turki Al-Sheikh is going to bring money into this country, oil money into this country, this, that, and the third into this country, he's all for it. But Turki Al-Sheikh has already done that. The Terrance Crawford versus Israel Majimov card was in America. So there you have that. He's already demonstrated that he's putting money into this country, right? Now this video dropped after that fight. So here we have Turki Al-Sheikh already doing that. And here's another thing though. If Turki Al-Sheikh wants fighters to fight in Saudi Arabia, it's up to those fighters, right? It's up to the fighters to decide if they're actually going to go to Saudi Arabia to fight. Turki Al-Sheikh is not making anybody fight in Saudi Arabia. All these fighters that Turki Al-Sheikh has fought in Saudi Arabia has chosen on their own accord to go to Saudi Arabia. So Turki Al-Sheikh is not putting a gun to anybody's head. He's not threatening people. He's not kidnapping people's kids and using them for ransom to get people over to Saudi Arabia. These people are making their own decision to go to Saudi Arabia. So there's that, all right? There's that.
Everybody knows my stance. I don't want him to take over the sport. because I think it'll be in a much worse place than what it is now if he takes over the sport.
Now, here's another thing. If he doesn't want Turkey Al Sheikh to take over the sport, what does that mean? What does it mean to take over the sport? Because again, these fighters have free will to do whatever they want. These fighters, they want to fight. They want to fight for money. So Turkey Al Sheikh is offering them money to fight fighters who are going to challenge them. He wants to see good fights, and so he's paying for it. Now, he bought Ring Magazine, and he bought the boxing portion of DAZN. Well, number one, DAZN was already not an American-owned company. DAZN was never an American-owned company, right? It's not American-based. So DAZN is a network that is not American in the first place, and they put on a lot of fights. And in regards to Ring Magazine, I mean, it's a magazine. They have a belt, but again, that's just a sanctioning body to a degree. I don't see where's Turkey Al Sheikh taking over boxing. He's just fronting the money for these fighters to fight. And if you guys didn't know, Turkey Al Sheikh, because he's probably not going to tell you, Turkey Al Sheikh has a brain tumor. He probably does not have very long to live. You understand? He's probably dying. He's really sick. He has a brain tumor, an inoperable brain tumor at that. So a man it's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know about the Make-A-Wish Foundation with the kids? They make the kids' wishes come true because they have a terminal disease, and they want to fulfill their dying wish. Well, this is basically Turkey's dying wish, is to see a bunch of great fights. And he's making certain moves to ensure that it's much easier for that to happen, like buying the boxing division of DAZN. Now, Turkey Al Sheikh has endless amounts of money with which he can get the best health care, and it'll probably prolong his life much further than most other, brain tumor patients. But at the end of the day, he's not going to be, if he's running boxing, he's not going to be running boxing very long. So, there's that.
Yeah, that's my stance. I made it very clear. Made it very fucking clear. Now, with that being said, Tank Davis went to Instagram, bro, and he captioned it.
Oh, and also, in regards to him saying that Turkey Al Sheikh, he doesn't, if he has a problem with Turkey Al Sheikh taking fighters to Saudi Arabia to fight. But there are a bunch of cards coming out this year, great cards, big cards, that are going to be happening right here in the United States. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and possibly even Teofimo Lopez will likely be fighting in Times Square in New York. So that is a fight in America. Canelo will be fighting in Las Vegas this year. These are Riyadh season cards. These are Turkey Al Sheikh cards. So there you have major cards put on by Turkey Al Sheikh happening in the United States. They're happening right here in the United States. And so there goes that narrative, right? Turkey Al Sheikh is making fights happen right here in the United States. He hasn't been run out of America. I don't know where that talking point came from. There's this narrative going around that Turkey Al Sheikh was ran out of America because he lost money on that Terrance Crawford card. When y'all don't know how much money was made on that. Y'all are just assuming. He lost $10 million. But where'd you get that? Where'd you get that information? That's what I want to know.
Him and Michael Jackson. And the caption says, I F with who I F with and I'm stuck with him because I don't suck. I F with who I F with and I'm stuck with him because I don't suck. Basically, ain't no switching sides. Loyalty over money. I'm dancing with who brung me. Whatever saying you.
Now, that coming from Tonka Truck Davis is very, very interesting about the money, the loyalty over money thing. That's very interesting coming from Tonka Truck Davis. And I'm surprised that a man as intelligent as K-Ho did not point this out. But during that live stream rant, Tonka Truck Davis said that he would fight Ryan Garcia again if Turkey Al-Sheikh gave him $140 million. So that's money, is it not? Is $150 million not money? If Turkey Al-Sheikh is giving him the money, wouldn't that be disloyalty? So it's loyalty over money unless it's $150 million, $140 million. Am I to guess that right? Is that what's going on right now? I just got questions. I got questions. How is it loyalty over money when you told the world you would take $140 million to fight Ryan Garcia again from Turkey Al-Sheikh? And why is this not being pointed out? Why are we not calling him out on this?
Describe what he said. That's what it is in a nutshell, bro. That's the gist of the message. A direct shot at those that are choosing money over loyalty.
Well, if that's the case, if that was a direct shot, then Tank Davis just committed suicide. He just gave himself a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Because again, he said, Turkey, give me $140 million, $150 million, and I will fight Ryan Garcia again. So if he just took a shot at those who chose money over loyalty, he just gave himself a self-inflicted gunshot wound. I mean, that's how it looks to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm hearing incorrectly. Maybe I have audio dyslexia. Is that what it is? Am I reading this right? Am I hearing this right? I think I am. Okay.
Allowing Turkey Al-Sheikh to name them, like Shakur the Outlaw Stevenson named by Turkey Al-Sheikh. Allowing him to name them like pets.
Allowing them to name them like pets. So when Turkey Al-Sheikh gives someone a nickname, they're pets. But when someone else gives another fighter nicknames, they're not pets. So is Sugar Ray Robinson or is Sugar Ray Leonard the pet of Sugar Ray Robinson? Is Sugar Shane Mosley the pet of Sugar Ray Leonard? Y'all just let me know. Is Sugar Shakur the pet of Sugar Shane Mosley? Y'all help me understand if I'm getting this correctly. I don't care, black people. It was a sparring match. Say what you want. Yeah, he beat me down. Yeah, he hit me 3 times, which did not hurt at all, and he didn't touch me for the rest of the 2 rounds. Okay, you happy? It wasn't a beatdown. It was a friendly sparring match, and I was working on defense. But it is what it is. Tell yourself what you want to tell yourself. Sister, Queen Sister Cameron, how you doing? How you doing up in here? Right? So, Tank Davis just took a shot at himself, according to K-Ho, because he would gladly take $150 million from Turkey Al-Sheikh to fight Ryan Garcia. Okay.
a direct shot at those that are allowing him to play the Saudi Arabia national anthem in the main event of a mega fight that involves a fighter from Ukraine and a fighter from the UK.
Well, Turki Al-Sheikh did front the money for the fight. He did front the money. And yes, they were from they're not from Saudi Arabia. Better Biev and Bivol are not from Saudi Arabia. So what? Again, these grown-ass men made a choice. So you're saying that him playing the national anthem of his country is somehow him taking over boxing? Okay.
A shot at those types of individuals.
So basically, he's saying that Tonka Truck Davis took a shot at Arthur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol, right? Okay, all right.
At the individuals where two fighters are going to be in the main event, and both of those fighters are from Russia, but right before they fight, you're going to see the Saudi Arabia flag raised to the center of the ring and the Saudi Arabia national anthem played loud for everyone to hear. And Saudi Arabia lets you know, we did this. This our shit. Yeah, that's who we talking to. Just so y'all all know and y'all all clear, those are the types of fighters that he's talking to. Now,
insert Tonka Truck Davis. Did Tonka Truck Davis take a fight for Turki Al-Sheikh yet? No. But he definitely made it clear for the right amount of money, he's willing to fight for Turkey. And so what? If the guy funding the fight with his own money raises the flag from his own country in the middle of the ring, who gives a fuck? In 1975, I never fought Minor Mouse. I never fought Minor Mouse. How about you tell everybody in the live chat how Minor Mouse is a PDF file who pled guilty to being a PDF file for raping a 14-year-old girl in a hotel room. How about you talk about that? Since we're talking about everything, you might as well tell everything. Yeah, me and Mighty Mouse sparred, and that was it. So I don't give a fuck about a Hell's Angel. Okay, man. All right. Anyway, on with the show. Yeah, I could give a fuck about Minor Mouse sending his peons to my live chat, trying to strike fear in my heart. I could give a fuck about a Hell's Angel. How about that? How about you broadcast this? Clip this and tell every Hell's Angel you know, fuck them. I could give a hot fuck less. And also let them know that Minor Mouse likes to diddle children. Let them know that as well. So just so you know, Hell's Angels, Mighty Mouse or Minor Mouse is a convicted child sex offender. So if you riding with that, I could give a hot fuck what you got going on, Hell's Angels. How about that?
Well, he's doing this because he's scared and he don't want the big fights. He's doing this because...
Well, you know, those things aren't mutually exclusive, K-Ho, but I do believe that Tank Davis is afraid of a challenge. That's why he won't fight challenging fighters. And he is threatened by Turki Al-Sheikh because that's where the money is right now. And Turki Al-Sheikh is not going to pay for you to fight Lamont Roaches. So, yeah, there's that.
He don't want to have to fight Shakur Stevenson. Or he don't want to fight Teofimo Lopez. Or he don't want to fight Keyshawn Davis. So he's drawing this line in the sand because he see all of them going with Turkey. And he's drawing this line in the sand because he know that Turkey gonna make him fight somebody. And so that's why he don't like Turkey. How about all of them are going over there because they don't want to fight him?
So Keyshawn Davis, who called Tank out, Shakur Stevenson, who called Tonka Truck out. They're going over to Turkey Al Sheik because they don't want to fight you. They don't want to fight Tonka Truck Davis. When did Tonka Truck Davis make it clear that he's willing to fight those guys? When did Tonka Truck Davis send those guys any type of offer, any type of term sheet, any type of anything to solidify and lock in a fight? When has that ever happened? So you're saying that the guys that want to fight, or they don't want to fight Tonka Truck Davis, so they're going to fight for Turkey Al Sheik. No, how about it's because they know Turkey Al Sheik is going to pay for them to fight challenging fights, for them to challenge themselves, and they're going to make a good bag off of it. They're not thinking about Tonka Truck because Tonka Truck does not want to challenge himself. He wants to fight Lamont Roaches. Tonka Truck Davis wants to fight Lamont Roach. And God knows who else after that. When has Tonka Truck Davis demonstrated that he's willing to challenge himself outside of Ryan Garcia, outside of Frank Martin? When has he done that? And Ryan Garcia was not really a challenge because he hit him with a rehydration clause and all that type of shit. And Ryan Garcia was not capable of being on the juice. So, when has Tank demonstrated that he was actually willing to fight those fighters that you're saying is going to Turkey Al Sheik? When has Tonka Truck Davis ever demonstrated that? Where is the proof? He demonstrated with Hector Garcia. He demonstrated with Ryan Garcia. He demonstrated with Lamont Roach. He demonstrated with Frank Martin. Yeah. Everybody Tank actually wanted to fight. It was clear that he wanted to fight them because they fought, because they signed the paperwork, because they locked in a date, because they locked in a venue, because he showed up sometimes to all the media days. There was clear demonstration of wanting to fight those guys. There is zero clear demonstration that the A-side, Tonka Truck Davis, wants to fight those guys that you're saying is running to Turkey Al Sheik, Shakur Stevenson, Keyshawn, and whoever else. He demonstrated he wanted to fight Loma, but Loma pulled out of negotiations. Too bad, so sad. Time to move on to the next most challenging fight. But no, you want to go get Lamont Roach, who could possibly be a cherry pick going wrong. We'll see.
How about Shakur Stevenson turned down negotiations to get an offer because they were trying to negotiate for him with one fight with the PBC and Tank Davis, and he went to Turkey to try to get multiple fights under Eddie Hearn.
What? Did he just say that the PBC was trying to get one fight with Shakur, and Shakur tried to go to Turkey Al Sheik to get multiple fights? What are you talking about? Shakur, according to Espinosa, said that he was trying to get a multi-fight deal, right, with the PBC, but the PBC could not do it. The PBC did not want to sign him to a multi-fight deal. Did not want to sign him. You know, that's interesting, Mr. Duke, because I have not seen not a Hell's Angel challenge in a black gang. I have not seen it ever in life. Anyway, so you're saying Espinosa was lying when he said that Shakur was trying to get a multi-fight deal, but they could only give him one? Make it make sense. But you're saying that he was trying to get a multi-fight deal through Turkey Al-Sheikh and Eddie Hearn. I don't understand.
Hey, bro. How about shit like that? Y'all don't want to talk about it. Here's what's going on. You have to decide what you want to go with. Do you want to choose the side of the B-side fighter who is saying, Tank, if you want to fight me, you got to come deal with who I deal with, not deal with Turkey, bitch?
When did anybody, when did that happen? Can y'all tell me? Cameron says the reacting they do is wild. Yeah, it's a hell of a reach. When did Shakur or Keyshawn Davis or anybody else say, yeah, you got to come deal with Turkey, bitch? When did that happen? When did anyone ever present that false choice? Because it could be a joint effort, just like the Ryan Garcia fight with Tank Davis was a joint promotional fight. PBC and DAZN. Well, Turkey Al-Sheikh now owns the boxing division of DAZN. All you have to do is do the same shit you did when you fought Ryan Garcia. It would be a joint promotional fight with DAZN. I can't listen. I know a lot of people give this guy credit for being credible and intelligent and all this other shit, but what I'm hearing is just a bunch of bullshit. PBC has already had cross and joint promotional fights with DAZN. All they got to do is do it again. Sunshine was good. All they have to do, and by the way, guys, don't block Minor Mouse's minions. Let them say what they got to say. Let them exercise free speech. Now, if they say something like, "Oh, I'm unsubscribed," if anybody says they're not subscribing or they're unsubscribing, get their ass out of here. That's the only way. And if they're spamming, if they spam, if they say that they are going to unsubscribe or anything like that, then you can get them out of here, because we also believe in freedom of choice. And if your choice is to leave, then we're going to escort you out immediately. But no one ever said that you have to work directly with Turkey to fight these guys. But what Turkey has done was offer you money to fight Devin Haney. And you could work out and iron out the details once you agree to negotiate. You could say, the PBC could step in and say, look, all right, you want to offer Tank $50 million? All right. Well, we're not just taking that as a flat fee. We also want a percentage of the pay-per-view. It's going to be cross-promotional, DAZN and the PBC on your network, because the PBC ain't got a network no more. Well, they got Amazon, but, you know, that's not their network. They just showing the fights for the PBC. Anyway, the bottom line is no one ever said you have to go and sign to DAZN or sign to Eddie Hearn or sign to Turkey Al-Sheikh. No one ever said that. Y'all are making shit up. See, he's making shit up. How is this credible? How is this guy credible? This guy is not credible in my mind. Exactly. He has no choice but to spin, because he's trying to help salvage Tank Davis's career and make Tank look good so that Tank stays. I don't know. I don't know what the point is. Oh, Cameron, it's all good. You know, it is what it is. I know I operate differently than most other YouTubers. I like to let people say what they're gonna say, because that's the beauty of free speech, because you get to know what the idiots are talking about and what the enemy is talking about. You get to understand But if you cut them off and you censor them, you're not going to see what they're talking about. I want to see what they're saying. I want to know what the other side is saying, because it gives me a better understanding, and I know where they're coming from, and I know that I live and work in 2 different constitutional carry states, and I am highly capable of defending myself with freedom seeds and a boomstick. And I'm very good at it. I'm very good with those tools. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Destiny Jones says, I condemn Boxing Ego for going against Dead, but I do the same thing to Tonka Truck. You mean Tonka Truck. Because you guys swaddle and coddle and pamper and damper Tonka Truck Davis. So we're going to treat him like an infant and name him after an infant's toy. Tonka Truck Davis. And no, I don't go after Boxing Ego for going against Devin. I go at him for lying and making up stories and just showing clear and vehement hatred for Tank, or for Devin Haney. I'm telling the truth about Tonka Truck Davis. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling the truth. And yes, while I do have a level of hatred for Tonka Truck, because he is a coon who embraced a drug cheat over his so-called Muslim brother, I still tell the truth about him. I don't need to spin. I don't need to lie. I don't need to manipulate words. Y'all see what I do right here. I just play what they say. If I choose to do so, I repeat their own words. I show their own actions. But I don't need to spin it. ATP Combat Media, how you doing, bro? I don't need to spin people's words. I don't need to try to trap people in lies that I make up. I don't need to do that. Oh, that's what's up, ATP. Claymore Rain in the building. Hey, y'all go sub to him, man. I got a small channel, but anybody I rock with and support, I will indeed send people your way. Let me mod you up. Let me mod you up. Don't do what I'm doing. Don't mod and drive. Anyway, I don't need to spend Queen Sister Cameron, Queen Sunshine. Do I lie about what Tonka Truck Davis does? Do I lie about his words? Do I leave out and omit crucial information to make things appear to be a certain way? Or do I just repeat what's said and play what's known? I don't need to do any of that. But this guy, knockoff Pity Pat, he does that to Dev. And he'll omit and twist and spin for the benefit of Tonka Truck Davis. And he'll do the same thing against Turkey Al-Sheikh, and I have a problem with that, and I'll explain that toward the end.
I'm gonna take the side of the A-side fighter, saying Shakur, Keyshawn, Loma, whoever, y'all gotta come over here and fuck with me and fuck with who I fuck with. And that's Al Heyman. Bitch ass nigga, what's up? You gotta decide what side you.
What? Big ass nigga, what's up? Like what? Why the extras? Big ass nigga, what's up? Big ass nigga, what's up? What are we talking about? You know, yeah, you're the A side. Tonka Truck is the A side. But it doesn't matter if Tonka Truck doesn't send an offer or term sheets. What good is being the A side if you're not trying to negotiate a fight? You see, yes, the A side has most of the leverage. And Tank Davis was the A, Tonka Truck Davis was the A side against, he was the A side against Ryan Garcia, but yet and still, they had to cross promote and co-promote with DAZN and Golden Boy. So why does a Shakur, who is a much greater fighter than Ryan Garcia, why does he have to do more than what Ryan Garcia did to get a fight with Tonka Truck Davis? He's better than Ryan. He has a better resume than Ryan, more accolades than Ryan. Ryan Garcia is an underachieving YouTube model. He is not on the level of a Shakur Stevenson. He's not on the level of a Keyshawn Davis. So why would those guys, well, you want them to see, first of all, you said that Tonka Truck is not going to go over to their side to make the fight happen. So they should come to you. Well, Shakur Stevenson, right, by some reports and some accounts, attempted to do so. And the PBC turned him down. So which one is it? How's that supposed to work? Exactly, Queen Sister Cameron. I just repeat. I repeat I don't leave shit out. ATP Combat says 100% family. When his fans or this space crowns the face of boxing on at least the side to any negotiation, his burden is the responsibility to take any and all. Exactly. And that's what it is. But knock off Pity Pat. Now, ATP Combat, it's a long story. You probably already know what's going on anyway, so it doesn't matter. I call him knock off Pity Pat because I'm petty. You know, since he personally attacked me, I decide that I go lower. And every time I talk about him, he's knock off Pity Pat. So, but anyway, knockoff wants you to believe that that Tonka Truck Davis has special privileges and over every other A-side fighter. That he is the only one that gets to sit back and not do shit to make a fight happen, but only for certain fighters, because he's clearly willing to do that against the fighters he actually wants to fight, right? So it's not, there's no consistency coming out of Knockoff's mouth. I don't understand why people say he's the best debater or one of the best debaters on YouTube. He's not. He is one of the best spin doctors on YouTube. And if you have any level of discernment and intelligence and you know the information, it's quite simple to debunk his bullshit. I've done that at every single talking point that he spewed. I have debunked it with real, actual things that happen. I'm not making shit up. All these things that I said has happened. Except for when I say, if I say it's reported or it's asserted or speculated, particularly with this idea that Shakur tried to get a multi-fight deal with the PBC. He said Espinoza was cap. He didn't say what he was cap about in that particular interview. He just said that he was cap. So I don't know. I don't know. But at the end of the day, we don't know what actually happened. We don't know what conversations were had. We don't know any of that. But let's keep going, because he's going to say some shit that's going to be addressable.
I'm drawing the line. My shit's very simple, bro. I'm not mincing words. I'm not hiding shit from y'all.
That's fucking ironic, because I just pointed out some shit that he hid from y'all. I just pointed some shit that he omitted from his talking points. Very, very ironic. You guys know these things I'm saying are true. But he decided to leave it out. But he's telling you that he's not leaving it out. That's crazy. I appreciate that, Sunshine. Thank you. Yes, please like or share or whatever you want to do. I appreciate you, Sunshine, for being my hype girl up in here.
Fighters. I'm looking at who actually brings casual fans to the sport. I'm looking at who actually sells.
Whoa. He's looking at who brings casual fans to the sport. All right, let's touch on that. let's touch on that. Tank Davis's first pay-per-view, I don't even think broke 100,000 pay-per-view buys. His second and third were like 200 and 300,000 respectively, or something like that. He averages about 200, 300,000 pay-per-view buys. That's pretty good. EJ has netted more pay-per-views than Tank could ever dream of. But let's talk about the one-off with Tank Davis. Tonka Truck Davis, my bad, Tonka Truck Davis. Let's talk about the one-off fight that Tonka Truck had that did astronomical numbers, right? Since we want to talk about bringing casuals to the sport, I would beg to differ on that. I would say if we want to go there, we have to then say that the fight that brought the most casuals to the sport was the Ryan Garcia fight. When Tank fought Ryan Garcia, he did over, reportedly, 1 million pay-per-view buys. That's what's reported, right? But since that was co-promotional, we don't know the exact numbers from DAZN, and they're saying the certain numbers from the PBC side, that's from Showtime. Now, if that's the case, that means that if they did over 1 million, that means that the Ryan Garcia fight brought in almost 3 times the amount, over 3 times the average amount of pay-per-view buys of Tonka Truck Davis' fights outside of Ryan Garcia. So is it that Tank or Tonka Truck brings the most casual fans, or is it that Ryan Garcia did? Now think about it. When did all the casuals started flooding the market and flooding the YouTube space and flooding the Twitter boxing space? When did they really start going ham and really start impacting the sport of boxing? That was around the Ryan Garcia Tonka Truck Davis fight. Before that, it wasn't as, out of control. There were casuals, but they, for the most part, they just like to watch boxing YouTubers and get the knowledge and all that other shit. There was not nearly as much spin before the Ryan Garcia fight as there is now. Most YouTubers did not have to spin. I was watching boxing YouTube for a while, for years. And I was very satisfied with the certain group of YouTubers that I watched to get my boxing info. Because all I wanted to do was watch great boxing fights and listen to the boxing YouTubers that I liked, give the stats, give the information, talk about background, talk about history, and all that stuff. None of this other shit was really being injected. Well, let me go back. Let me stop. It really kind of started with Devin Haney versus Kambosos, right? A little bit before that. Because certain YouTubers started to hate on Devin. One in particular, South Sucker TV. He really started going in on Devin. He was very, very flamboyant and out of control, and I guess some people like that. There were some casuals that came around about that time. And with Fanon, when Fanon started hating on the Haneys. But it really started getting out of control during the Tank Davis Ryan Garcia fight. That's when it really started amping up. I would say that Ryan Garcia and Jake Paul, as a matter of fact, Jake Paul was the pioneer of bringing so many casuals to the sport of boxing. Yeah, he brought the most casual eyes to the sport of boxing because of how he entered the sport of boxing. He brought that. So yeah, it was really kind of Jake Paul. And then Ryan Garcia came in and really amped it up because Ryan Garcia was very active on social media. Very active. Had so-called millions and millions of subscribers and all that shit. So there's that. So I know I don't think Tank brought necessarily any casuals, but did casuals start clinging to Tank Davis, to Tonka Truck Davis, because they think he's cute and think he's and like his leg tattoos and his purses and his laid and played braids? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that might be the case. But they were only brought there because of a Ryan Garcia, because of a Jake Paul. They brought the casuals, really brought the casuals to the sport. And Tonka Truck, well, he just benefited from it. Yeah. No, he didn't bring no casuals out. They were already there. They just started clinging to him because they liked the drama that was being amplified by certain YouTubers. And they think he's attractive. Just like they thought Ryan Garcia was attractive. And they probably thought Jake Paul was attractive. I don't fucking know. It's the generation. I don't fucking know. So, yeah, let's really talk about who actually brings the casuals to the sport of boxing. But see, what happens is YouTubers like this guy, like Kate Knockoff, and even worse for other YouTubers, right? Knockoff is not that bad. I will tell you guys. Knockoff is one of the milder YouTubers in regards to the drama. He don't really focus on the silly shit like a boxing no-go. Boxing no-go is way worse than Knockoff pity pat. I will say that. I will give Knockoff credit for mostly keeping it boxing. But guys like Knockoff, guys like South Sucker, guys like Fanon. I don't know what happened with Fanon. Well, I do know what happened with Fanon. I just don't know the exact details. I just, it just gets out of control. And then you got other guys like Dean by No Means and all these other guys that they don't really give a shit about pushing the sport of boxing forward. They care about fomenting drama to capitalize from the sport of boxing, right? And they happen to like boxing a lot. So there you have that.
When they have an event, I'm looking at who actually has the fight geographically where I can go to that motherfucker.
Well, Canelo, Terrance Crawford, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Jerron Boots Ennis, who else? Arthur versus Bivol is not happening in the United States. But those outside of those two, every fighter I just named is going to be fighting on cards in the United States. You don't even need a passport. You don't even need a passport to go to these fights this year. So we can throw that narrative out the window. Times Square, Las Vegas. Those are two geographical locations that you can hop your happy ass on a plane and go to. There you have that. Yeah. Jerron Boots Ennis. 4 guys at 147 pounds. A 4-man tournament. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, and Jerron Boots Ennis. Of course, contingent upon them fighting their little warm-ups early this year. Happening in the United States. Hop your happy ass on a plane and take your ass across the contingent United States to go to these fucking fights. Yeah, they're happening here in America. Yeah. Bada boom, bada bing.
It has to fight at a time where we can throw fight parties in our country. And I'm looking at who generates them up.
Oh man, the fight parties. Man, god damn it, he's right. We have to get our chicken wings. We got to get the chicken wings. We got to bring it to the goddamn motherfucking house and have our little fight party. Yeah, man. Boxing ain't boxing without them chicken wings, man. Boxing ain't boxing without the pizza. Boxing ain't boxing without a bunch of motherfuckers yelling and screaming in the house. God forbid we do it at 12 in the afternoon Oh, it can't happen at 12 or 11. Oh no. It's okay for the Super Bowl. Yeah, you can have a Super Bowl earlier in the day, but not a fight. No, we can't celebrate a fight early in the day. Only football games. Yeah. It's impossible to have a fight party earlier in the day if it's going to happen in Saudi Arabia. But scratch that, because most of these cards that Turki Al-Sheikh is putting on is happening in the United States, as it's reported.
Pay-per-view sales. Basically, I'm looking at what these fighters bring to the table and what they do for the health of the sport, actually bringing money into the sport and not taking money from.
What? Wait. Taking money from the sport? Y'all said that Turki Al-Sheikh was losing money. How is Turki Al-Sheikh taking money from the sport when he's paying the boxers, when he's making sure that every boxer's team is paid, making sure the venue gets paid for, making sure the production value is high, making sure that we got all these good little cinematic trailers? Turki Al-Sheikh is putting money into the sport to attract people, to say, hey, look how we get down with it. But you're saying that Turki Al-Sheikh is taking money from the sport when you're saying he lost $10 million. You said he lost money. Y'all are saying he's losing money paying the fighters too much. That's what Knockoff Pity Pat said. Oh yeah. He said Turki Al-Sheikh was paying the guys too much money. Oh no, yeah, you paying them too much. You gonna make them divas and this, that, and the third. You gonna make them blah, blah, blah. But now he's taking money from the sport. Is the boxer not the sport? Is the boxer's team not the sport? Is the venue not the sport? The managers, the promoters, all this shit, the network, they're all part of the sport of boxing. And Turki Al-Sheikh puts money into it. He bought DAZN. He put money into DAZN to put on great fights. Are boxing fights not the sport of boxing? Help me understand how Turki is taking money from the sport. How is Turki Al-Sheikh taking money from the sport, y'all? Can y'all just please let me know? Because I'm having a hard time understanding how he can make this assertion when everything that we see points to Turki Al-Sheikh putting money into the sport. And y'all said he even lost money. If he lost money, who did he lose the money to? He lost the money to the sport of boxing to see the great fights. He paid the fighters what you guys say is too much money because he wanted to see great fights. Well, let me ask y'all a question. He's a rich boxing fan, a very wealthy boxing fan with endless amounts of money at his disposal. Why? Well, it's not endless, because as long as when the oil runs out, of course they're going to run out of money, but as long as they're producing oil, they got the money. Now, Turki Al-Sheikh is just a glorified fan, according to y'all, right? A glorified fan with a lot of money. Well, think about this, if you want to say that, right? Y'all clown him for losing money, for wanting to see the great fights. Well, what does the average boxing fan do? Now, I'm not talking about journalists, right? I'm not talking about journalists that go to the fights. I'm not talking about boxing YouTubers with tens of thousands of subscribers that are monetized, that cover the sport of boxing. I'm talking about the average boxing fan. He takes his paycheck. He buys a ticket to the fight, right? He buys a ticket. He also, if the fight is in a whole different state, he has to get on a plane and fly to the state the boxing event is happening at. Then he needs a place to stay. So what does he have to do? He has to book a hotel. so that he may stay somewhere while he's spending, he has spent potentially thousands of dollars just to go see a fight. And tell me, how much money does the average fan make off of a fight? What does an average fan net when they go to a boxing event? They net negative dollars. Negative, not zero, negative. They lose money. They have sunk in thousands of dollars to go watch two people beat up on each other. They're not getting that money back. They're not getting that money back. They just went and paid all that money for the entertainment. Well, that's what Turkey does. Y'all say he lost money. Well, he's a glorified boxing fan with a lot of money. He just so happened to be able to make the fight happen. Yeah. To help me understand, is Turkey taking money from the sport, or is he losing money? Help me understand that. Because when you say taking money, I'm thinking the guy has netted a significant amount of money from the sport of boxing. But you also say he lost money. Help me understand how that works. The math ain't mathing. Queen Sunshine says, or book a side piece. Exactly. That's the only way to avoid those hotel fees. Good point. Good point.
That's what I'm looking at. And no matter who you compare him to in his weight class or around his weight class, Tank Davis is the guy that's bringing in all the money. So
well, let him finish his thought.
And the other fighter being prideful, then it's gonna be on that other fighter that's gonna have to humble themselves, bro.
Here we go with the humble himself bullshit. First, let's talk about the first thing he said. He said the fighter in and around the division that brings the most money. What money is Tonka Truck Davis bringing? Is Tonka Truck Davis paying for the fight? Is he paying the fighter's purse? Who's paying for the fighter's purse? Who's paying for these purses? Who puts up the money for these fights? Does Tonka Truck Davis put the money up for the fights? Help me understand how Tonka Truck Davis is bringing the most money in and around that division. What other fighter brings money? Who's bringing the money? How is Tonka Truck Davis bringing the money in and around the division, the most money? How is he bringing any money? Is GTD, is GTDP signing checks? Are they getting money from the network? Because last I checked, the network brings the money. The network brings the money based on the value they believe the fight will have. I don't know how much he's getting for the Lamont Roach fight. I think I heard $2.5 million. If he's getting $2.5 million for the Lamont Roach fight, and he got $5 million, I'm talking about the guarantee. A guaranteed purse of $5 million versus Ryan Garcia, and he's getting 2.5 for fighting Lamont Roach. How is he bringing the most money to the other fighters when he can't even bring himself the most money he ever had in his current fight? Tank Davis has regressed in the size of the purse he would get to fight Lamont Roach. But you want to try to convince us that Tank Davis is going to bring the most money to that fighter. when he can't even bring himself the most fucking money? How does that work? I don't know how much Lamont Roach is supposed to get. I think I heard about 700 or 900,000. He himself said that his purse size is not any bigger than any other fight he was offered, or some of the other fights he was offered outside of Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis. He said that. He said, no, this ain't my biggest bag, or this would not be my biggest bag. I'm doing this for legacy. And shout out to Lamont Roach, man, for that young man stepping up. Shout out to him. Sunshine says, why is always the loudest person in the room always telling somebody else to humble? Exactly. And humble themselves. I was going to get on that. I was going to get into that. Now, imagine if Lamont Roach participated in a tournament at 130 pounds. Let's say Nayo Inoue moved up to 130 to try to get undisputed at 130. And he went through Turkey Al-Sheikh. Lamont Roach has a WBA belt at 130 pounds. Do y'all think that he would get more money to fight Nayo Inoue in the Riyadh season? Do you think he would get more money to fight Nayo Inoue at Riyadh season? Or do you think he'd get more money fighting Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis on a PBC card? And by the way, if Rayo Valenzuela is fighting, I think it's Rayo is supposed to be on the undercard for Tank versus Lamont Roach. He's supposed to be fighting Gary Antoine Russell. If that fight is happening, that should be the main event, in my opinion. That should be the main event, and Tonka Truck versus Lamont Roach should be the co-main. Just that's in my opinion. Anyway, so I can guarantee you, if Nayo Inoue went up to 130 to try and snatch some belts, if he's undisputed at 126, I believe, he can go up and challenge any belt holder at 130 pounds. He can challenge Lamont Roach. And they can fight on a Riyadh season card, and he will get way more money up front. He will get the biggest guarantee of his life to fight Nayo Inoue on a Riyadh season card. That's just a hypothetical. He will get way more money for that than what he's going to get for Tank, even after the back end. And is he getting the back end amount? What's the percentage? If Lamont Roach is not getting any back end for the pay-per-view buys or the gate, then that means that Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis is not bringing the most money in or around his division. Not even a little bit. All right, so there goes that.
They're going to have to humble themselves. They're going to have to come see him, or they don't want to fight.
Humble themselves. Come see him. Did Ryan Garcia humble himself? Did Hector Garcia humble himself? Did Lamont Roach humble himself? Or did he just get a phone call and say, let's fight? Did Ryan Garcia just get an offer or a settlement or a term sheet? Same with Hector Garcia. Did any of these guys humble themselves? Then why do more elite fighters in or around Tonka Truck's division have to humble themselves when they are more elite than anybody Tonka Truck has ever fought? Why would Shakur have to humble himself when Lamont Roach didn't have to humble himself? These questions have been asked thousands of times to Tonka Truck baby gobblers. The Tonka truck baby gobblers have been asked this question many times. Why does a Devin Haney, a Shakur, a Keyshawn, a Loma, a Baranchik, why do any of those guys have to humble themselves when no one else Tonka Truck Davis had fought, ever had? Help me understand that.
It's that simple for me, bro. Y'all make this shit calculus and try to make this shit algebra and do.
Does any of my rebuttals sound like calculus? Do my disagreements in my arguments against what he's saying sound extremely complicated? Does it? Or is it that his equations are incomplete? Is it that there is some unknown variables in his algebra equation? Yeah, I believe that we're missing the X. And we might be missing the Y. We might be having to solve for X and Y. Well, that's what I'm trying to help y'all do. I'm trying to solve for X and Y because he left the X and the Y out. I'm just plugging in the X and the Y into the logarithm, or whatever you want to say, and helping solve this equation. I am completing the sentence. I am inserting pertinent information where he left it out. But does it sound complicated when I do it? Or does it sound like it makes sense? I don't need y'all to answer. I know the answer because I can hear myself talk. But sometimes it appears as though guys like Knockoff Pity Pack, South Sucker TV, Boxing No Go, it doesn't sound like or seem like they listen to themselves talk. They might like to hear themselves talk, but are they actually listening to what they're saying? Are they thinking about the things they said before to make sure it lines up and makes sense and is consistent and not contradictory? Are they ensuring that they are not suffering from cognitive dissonance? I don't have to think about the shit that I said before because I know it lines up with what I'm going to say now. Because I know I'm very consistent. I'm very, very non-contradictory. And if I do, I'm not perfect. If there are contradictions and someone can point it out, I can say, oh shit. Well, maybe something changed. Maybe something didn't. Maybe I remember something I didn't remember before. Or maybe I'm full of shit. But I have yet to have anybody tell me where I did contradict myself, where I did not make sense. This is not an equation. You see, what I'm doing is not complicated or anything. What is complicated, what we need to solve for is, what does one need to do to get a fight with Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis? What does one have to do? What is humbling oneself? And to what degree does one have to humble themselves to get a fight with Tonka Truck Davis? And how elite do you have to be to have to humble yourself? If you are an elite boxer, why do you have to humble yourself when no one else did? Did Frank Martin humble himself? I don't think so. I don't think so. No one Tonka Truck Davis has ever fought had to go to Tonka Truck Davis. Tonka Truck Davis has gone to them. And there you have that.
Pythagorean theorem or whatever the fuck it's called, bro. It's very simple. It's a very simple concept. He is letting you know And so when fighters like Keyshawn Davis, Lomachenko,
what is he letting anybody know? Wow. What is he letting anybody? He's not letting anybody know shit. Let us know how to get a fight, Tonka Truck Davis. How do we fight you in a boxing match? When they asked how this fight with Lamont Roach got made, Tonka Truck Davis said, I don't know. He does not even know how his fights get made. But he damn sure knows how not to make a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Yeah. Tonka Truck Davis will say things like, what has he done? What has Stevenson done? He damn sure knows how not to make a fight. That's for damn sure. But we just need to know how to make a fight. Right? It's that simple.
When fighters hear that, bro, then if you want to smoke, you respond, you react accordingly. No problem.
Dewan, the only, says he may be under contract to fight who they want him to fight. I don't know why Tonka Truck Davis would sign such a contract when he was under the thumb, according to him, of Floyd Mayweather, who had that same level of ability, that same level of control. Why would he give control to the PBC to do the same thing when he left Floyd Mayweather to take more control of his career? So, are we now saying that Tonka Truck Davis does not control his own career? Because Tonka Truck Davis left Floyd Mayweather to control his career, even though he's still with the PBC, and the PBC is still, Floyd Mayweather is still part of the PBC. Nonetheless, he is no longer a part of Floyd Mayweather Promotions. So help me understand. Does Tonka Truck Davis control anything that he does? He doesn't need to have a contract like that with the PBC for him to say, just make whatever fight for him. He could just give that control to his managers. That doesn't mean he had to sign a contract for that to happen. That just means that he doesn't want to deal with that. We don't know the level. We don't know the level of control the PBC has over who he fights. But I can't imagine that he would leave Floyd Mayweather because he had very little control of his career. Because if he has to fight who the PBC tells him to fight, then that means he doesn't control his career. That means that he has zero control. That means he's not his own boss, as you guys purport him to be. You know what I'm saying? So Camerfield says, salute Dewan. I hear you, and I also know that he wouldn't have had a hit list if he was not his decision. Right. So someone like Akeho would have you believe that Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis is in complete control. But he doesn't know how the Lamont Roach fight got made. Is it that he's not in control, or is he in control? Or is he in control and he just says, yeah, make whatever fight happen? Or maybe he says, make whatever fights y'all feel I should fight outside of these fighters. He could say, leave out Shakur, leave out Devin, leave out Loma. Well, he tried to fight Loma. Leave out Dennis Branch. I don't know why he wouldn't fight Dennis. I don't. He would demolish Dennis, and he would unify two belts. I don't understand why he wouldn't fight If anything, he should be fighting Dennis Branch right now. But he's letting Keyshawn do it. Keyshawn's going to fight Dennis Branch. He's going to get a belt. And he's damn sure not going to want to unify after that. So I don't understand why he would choose Lamar Roach over Dennis Branch. I don't get it. Anyway. Scientific Notations takes up an entire page to get the answer. You funny, Sunshine. I can't. You saying basically he's just using word salad. I hear you.
I'll hang in the PBC and Prime Video, they're going to be the lead. That's not to say you can't do some joint shit. You can't do no joint.
Now he can do some joint shit. But earlier on, you said you got to go to Tank. You said, no, we ain't going over there. You got to come to me. Now you're saying they can do some joint shit? Why not say that from the beginning? Why, what they call it? Bloviate. What's that word, Cameron? Bloviate? I forgot what that. Just, why would you, why would you say, oh, you got to come to Tank to make a fight. You got to come to him. You got to go to his territory. When you could have just said from the jump that they could do a joint promotional fight with PBC in the lead. Why would you not just do that? Why not say that from jump? Why not save yourself the energy? I don't understand. You see, what I'm hearing is some shit from a man who is just as confused as everybody else about what the fuck Tank wants to do. Whatever Tonka Truck wants to do, no one really knows what Tonka Truck was, including him. But he's trying to cover for him. He's trying to spin and twist for him. So now he's like completely contradicting himself. Now you're saying, oh, we can do a joint thing. Let's see.
But they gonna be the lead promoter, bro, because he earned that right.
How did he earn that right? How did hold on? How did Tonka Truck Davis earn the right for the PBC to be the lead promoter when he has not fought any elite fighters outside of a couple? And I would say that Ryan Garcia is not elite. Some people think he's one of the four kings. He's not. Who? What? Because you made a few $100,000 pay-per-views on average. You're probably averaging about 500,000 because of that 1.2 million. That reported 1.2 million money. Well, Turkey Al Sheikh has money. Turkey Al Sheikh has way more money than the PBC. PBC can't even pay for a good press conference for the Tonka Truck versus Lamar Roach fight. Where was the money for that? Where was the money for music to be played during the Tim Tszyu versus Bakram fight? Where was the music? How come they didn't come out to music? What happened to the production of that fight? What happened to the promotion of the Bakram versus Tim Tszyu fight? Help me understand where the PBC gets its money. Help me understand how much capital the PBC has to make the big fights happen. Where is the money? Because they're not getting it from Amazon. Amazon's not giving them a budget. So where are they getting money from? How is money going to help the PBC be the lead promoter? Because they had fighters on a Riyadh season card, and they did not lead that. Now Tank is a much more, he's going to have a lot more leverage and power than those guys. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the PBC has to lead the promotion because they don't have the money. Turkey Al Sheikh is going to be paying for a lot of that shit. The only thing the PBC is going to have control of is Gervonta Tonka Truck Davis himself. They're not going to be paying for nothing. They're not going to pay for nothing, not shit. Turkey Al Sheikh is going to pay for most of the shit. he is going to be putting up the most money. So why would the PBC leave? Why would they leave? No, they just got to sit back and get some bread. They got to sit back and get bread for their fighter fighting on the reality card. They don't have to. And Tonka do is ensure that Tonka Davis gets a percentage of the pay-per-view. If Tonka Davis gets a percentage of the pay-per-view, it's going to be a big pay-per-view depending on who he fights. Because if he fights on a Riyadh season card, he has to fight a challenging fight. And it's going to be big. He is going to get 30, 40, 50 million dollars up front, plus a percentage of the pay-per-view if it's higher than that 50. No sound? God damn it. Hold on. Please put a 1 in the chat, a 5x5. You can hear me and audio that I'm playing. So it's a 5x5. 5 for me and 5 for the audio. All right, great. So here's the thing, man. Turkey Al Sheik. What did Dewan say? He said, "You like what Turkey is? I like what he's doing too. I like it. Because that's what. If we get, I don't want to get Tank out of here, but if he ain't gonna fight the fights, and he's gonna keep bitching and complaining about Turkey, and if he's not gonna want to do anything to challenge himself, I want him the fuck out of here, and then let Turkey Al Sheik run things for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully he passes the torch to a worthy individual that's going to make the great fights happen. Hopefully, and we can enjoy boxing again. I ain't got to worry about all the bullshit, right? Just the great fights happening, and we can focus on talking about the matchups and look at tapes, look at the lead up, look at all that shit, because when you have a lead up to a fight, it's very exciting because that means there's a fight coming. And if a fight is coming, it's going to be a great fight. And of course, you're going to have other fights, lower in the rankings and all that. All that's great too, to watch other fights. But these networks are dying. The networks are dying. They don't want to invest. They're not dying, but they're killing their boxing divisions. And if it all goes away and it's only the zone left, and Turkey is not running the zone, then it's going to be just everything that these promoters have been doing before Turkey came along is going to be more of the same. Turkey is going to ensure that the great fights happen. And that's why I don't have a problem with what Turkey's doing. I don't have a problem with it. The fighters are getting paid, and the fights are happening. I mean, we got a bunch of great cards coming up, and I'm very excited. And I think I want to go to, if Devin and Ryan fight again in October, I think I'm going to try to make that happen. I think I'm going to try to go out there to New York for that fight. It might not be in New York. I know the next one coming up is supposed to be in New York. So the fight coming in April or either April for those guys, I think that's going to be New York. Hopefully, I'm really not excited about going to New York. But if Ryan versus Devin Part 2 is happening in New York, I might try to have to get there. And I hate that Ryan Garcia is getting any money. I don't like it because it's a drug cheat. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that he's refusing to sign the paperwork for USADA or VADA to get on the 360 24/7 program for drug testing. I don't like it. Then why are you funny? He's going to jab and move and hope. Why are we still using that talking point? Why are we going all the way back to Ryan versus Kambosos Part 1 to repeat that talking point? Devin has not done that since that fight. And jabbing and holding is a part of the sport of boxing. It is a strategy. And if used wisely, it can really help you. But he did not do that against Kambosos in the second fight. He didn't do that against Loma. He did not do that against Regis Prograis. And he damn sure didn't do it against Ryan Garcia. I would have preferred he done that against Ryan Garcia than what he actually did. I don't know why we're using that talking point. That's the best of Devin's. No, it's not. The best of Devin's style is his footwork and his accuracy. That's the best of Devin. His footwork, right? He has excellent footwork, and his accuracy of his punches. That's the best of Devin. Not clinching. And jabbing is part of his arsenal. So yes, jabbing, his footwork, you know what I'm saying, getting those angles that we know he can get, because he damn sure outmaneuvered Lomachenko. So we know those are the best of his best qualities. You're not downplaying it. If you're not downplaying it, then why are you using that talking point when he did not do that, what you just said, since the Kambosos won? Ever since then, he has changed it up. He has done different things, given different looks. He destroyed Regis Prograis by doing the complete opposite of what you said he's best at. That, to me, that was his best performance. And the second best performance in my mind was against Lomachenko. And there was no jab move clinch against Lomachenko. There was no jab move clinch against Regis Prograis. Why are we spewing that nonsense? I get it. You want to say that that's what he's doing, but that's not what he's doing. He doesn't need that against Ryan Garcia. He needs to incorporate it into the overall style he fights in, but that's not going to be his only thing that he's going to be able to do, because he's going to have to really turn Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia sucks with footwork. So he's basically going to have to fight Ryan Garcia like he did Loma. He turned Loma. He got the angle on Loma. Loma has better foot positioning and footwork than Ryan Garcia. If he can get the angle on Ryan Garcia and get away from his weapons, he is going to destroy Ryan Garcia to the body. Destroy Ryan Garcia to the body. You know what I'm saying? Change levels. Don't headhunt. Don't go up there with Ryan Garcia. And if you're going to throw headshots, you got to stay low. So you're going to throw you're going to throw a lot of overhand rights. You're going to throw a lot of jabs to the head from a lower position, not standing tall, but dipping. You're going to dip and throw that jab. You're going to dip and throw that overhand, and you're going to turn, and you're going to roll after that. Jab low, not jab to the body. I'm saying if you're going to jab to the head, you're going to have to get low like you're going to jab to the body, but actually hit the head. Then you're going to have to pendulum step to get the angle. Same thing with the cross. Same thing with the right hand. Overhand right. You're going to have to roll under, step to the right, and get the angle there. You're going to completely take his left hook out of it. You roll under that left hand, whether he throws it or not, because you know he's going to throw it. But even if he doesn't throw that left hand, he's not going to know how to get back in position if you step to his left-hand side and you're outside of his left hand. He's going to be completely open for a liver shot. Ryan Garcia has horrible defense. Ryan's defense is his fast hands. But if you can stay under that, and if you can go get the outside position, you get the angle on Ryan Garcia, his body is going to be open. His body, you're going to just have to give him a lot of body shots. You're going to have to dig into those ribs, and you have to keep getting that angle. That's what you have to do. And if he rushes you, because he's going to rush. He's gonna get bored. He's gonna rush you with those left hooks in that right hand. But he's gonna throw his right hand down. He's gonna punch down. Ryan Garcia does not know how to drop his level so that he doesn't punch down, and that chin's gonna be up. So if he throws that right hand and you duck under that right hand and you throw that overhand right at the same time as you're stepping to the left, that chin is going to be exposed, and Devin can probably spark him. He can probably knock Ryan Garcia out doing that. That's what he needs to do. He needs to box. He does not need to stand in front of Ryan Garcia, right? And try to stay tall. No. But at the same time, when he rolls and ducks, he has to, you know what I'm saying, looking down and like hinging at the waist. That's not a very good idea, because he can drop that hook and catch you like that. So you just got to plan it out. You got to strategize. You got to work on that type of shit. Sunshine says, great verbal breakdown of necessity. I appreciate that, Sunshine. It's easier when you practice. When you're a practitioner, it's easier to understand it. It's easier to explain it. Dewan says, Regis and Loma is similar than Ryan to Devin. Didn't need to fight them the way he only fought Kambosos like that to ensure his W. Devin should have won the first fight with Ryan, but he let his pride. Well, not only that, but Ryan Garcia was a drug cheat. Let's not forget that. Ryan Garcia was on performance-enhancing drugs. That is a huge factor. I know they want to downplay it and say, oh, well, it didn't stop him from getting the left hook. But Devin avoided the left hook a whole bunch of times in that fight. Listen, y'all, Ryan Garcia is easy to figure out. He does the same shit. It didn't matter what the new shit he was doing with, Derrick James, was shit he already knew. He was an elite amateur fighter, right? All that shit, the catch and shoot and all that. I mean, that's standard, basic shit. That's not. His footwork is what is trash. Him standing tall against shorter fighters. His chin being up. These are things that Ryan Garcia will likely never change, that can be exploited. Devin actually exploited it and almost dropped Ryan Garcia. I think it was the third round. Almost dropped him with a left hook of his own. Ryan Garcia, it's just that Devin got caught with that first left hook in the first round and never fully recovered. And he kept getting hit with the left hook multiple times. And he also did not get hit with the left hook a lot of times. Devin made him miss a lot of left hooks. So it wasn't like Devin was getting hit with every goddamn left hook like people might like to make it look like. That's not what happened. Sunshine says the chin will be relocated to another zip code. Yeah, you got that chin is up, man. Ryan cannot not keep that chin up. He has put in tens of thousands of hours sparring, drilling, hitting that Cobra bag, hitting this, all that shit with his chin up. It's muscle memory. His neck does not know how to crane in order for his chin to be down. It's not going to happen. Ryan Garcia's chin is going to be up, and you got to tap that chin when he's throwing. Because he's so fast, you have to time it. And timing beats speed. You time it properly. He throws that left hook, he throws that right hand, he exposes his body, he exposes his chin. But you have to do it as he's throwing, as he's extending. If you can catch him while he's extending those punches, he is going to go down. When he throws his left hooks, he's out of position. He's out of position. These are things that is known about Ryan Garcia. This is how Tank Davis was able to knock Ryan Garcia out. When Ryan Garcia was fully extended and out of position. That's how he dropped Ryan Garcia. While he was extended and out of position. That's how Luke Campbell dropped him. He was extended and out of position. His chin was exposed. That is how Ryan Garcia gets beat. Catch him while he's extended, and that's how Devin caught him. Devin caught him while he was extended, throwing that left hook, and he almost dropped him. And then Ryan Garcia got mad. If Ryan was not on the juice, he would likely have been dropped by that. That's how you beat Ryan Garcia. Catch him while he's extended, and he's going to be out of position 9 times out of 10. Because when he's throwing his power shots, he does not know how to plant his feet so that he's in position while he's throwing it. He does not care what his feet are doing when he's throwing his power shots. He does not care about where his chin is when he's throwing his power shots, because he is counting on his left hook to be that equalizer. He is counting on that right hand, that weird ass downward punch right hand, to be his equalizer. He is relying on speed and power, and that's it. He doesn't care about footwork. He don't care about head movement. He don't care about nothing. He don't care about catching, right? Oh, and his reach. That's also what he counts on. Dewan says he got caught with too many left hooks. Well, clearly he got caught with too many left hooks. That's why he got dropped 3 times. Getting any punch landed on you is too many. But I hear what you're saying. Well, Devin is not going to get caught with them left hooks no more. Not like that. He's going to be smarter about it and not trust that. J-Man was good with you, bro. He says, Duano, what don't you understand about performance enhancement? He don't care. Because this is what happens in boxing, if you don't already know. When there is a boxing match and you are in the elite levels of boxing and you're fighting on that elite level, sometimes, well, actually, every time someone fights against another fighter in a boxing match, somebody gets hit. That's what happens in the sport of boxing. People get hit with things. Now, either that person drops or they don't. They eat it or they don't. Or they don't barely feel it or they do. That night, Ryan Garcia was augmented with performance-enhancing drugs. His performance was augmented by drugs. Therefore, when he landed the left hook, it had more power behind it because of the performance enhancing. There was more speed because of the performance enhancement. There was more endurance because of the performance enhancement. Ostarine in particular augments those things and allows you to keep your power and your muscle mass while cutting weight. But you can only cut so much weight if your body does not tear down the muscle that Ostarine is preventing from happening. So if the Ostarine is preventing your muscles from breaking down, right, because you're cutting, then you're not going to cut as much weight as you need to get to the contracted weight. All right? And so, though that is what one would say a negative side effect of being on the Ostarine, is that you cannot lose enough muscle to get down to the weight that is going to be much harder for you to get below your genetic set point weight. Ryan Garcia's genetic set point is probably 145 pounds. That's probably as low as he can go without killing himself or trying to kill himself. Well, if he takes Ostarine, it's going to be much more difficult for him to lose that muscle. That muscle is going to be full of glycogen, and that's why you take carbs after you get done weighing in. So you're enhanced DeWine, it doesn't matter if J-Man asks you anything. He can say what he wants. Freedom of speech. Sunshine said you got me cracking up over here. I remember being in the ring and my instructor and I took a blow to the chin. I bet it did change your life. Yeah, you better guard that chin. But see, Ryan Garcia, he's never going to learn from that. Because he's used to knocking people out before he can get touched like that. Well, his chin gonna get touched by Devin when they fight again. Believe that to retrieve that. Yeah, we got free speech up in here. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off of this, man. But it's been great talking to y'all, man. Well, let me see what else he's gonna say. I think I'm done. I think I'm done with this. Y'all think I'm done? I think I've made my point.
Right, to where his team is the lead team. They're responsible for the press conference. They do the build up to the fight.
Man, if you don't knock it off, stop it. PBC ain't leading shit no more. I can tell y'all that right now. Unless the PBC keeps all the fights in-house, they're not running shit. Because the only other network, until I think next year, I think it's July of next year, is when ESPN Plus is no longer showcasing boxing. It's only going to be DAZN, buddy. And DAZN is going to have way more money than you. And it's way more money than the PBC. You're not calling no shots. It's the delusion for me. It's the delusion. You're selling the dream. Selling the dream. I'm done with this, man. I'm done with this. I think I did my job here. I think I made a good. I think I made good work of this nonsense. The bottom line is, PBC ain't running shit, and no joint promotions with DAZN. DAZN got way more money. They got way more money for the fighters. They got way more money for the venues. They got way more money for the lawyers involved. They can buy out the PBC if they want to. The PBC, I'm sorry, it just is what it is. The PBC is not going to control shit outside of its own house. If you're going to fight other PBC fighters and all this other shit, yeah, you can do what you want. But if you have to fight anybody that is part of Matchroom, that is part of Top Rank, that is part of the Golden Boy, that is part of Queensberry Promotions, you are not running shit. I agree, DeWine. PBC is done. DeWine and J-Man, y'all know y'all ain't gonna do shit to each other, man. Y'all over the internet. Y'all over the internet. But y'all say what y'all want. Y'all handle y'all handle. Y'all go on ahead and handle that. Queen Mother Shaquila is in the building. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate you. Listen, y'all. Y'all say what y'all want. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all handle that. I'm gonna let y'all handle that. But listen, I mean, there's nothing wrong with different points of view. It's okay. No one, and so that, and that's another thing in this. When it comes to YouTube boxing, the YouTube boxing community, and you know, at the end of the day, if people disagree, they can disagree. But when you go on a campaign to twist, manipulate, and lie to make one fighter or one entity in the sport of boxing look worse than the other, then you're bad for boxing. And anybody that has any sense or anything, so they're going to combat that. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm calling bullshit on everything, damn near, that Knockoff Pity Pat has said in this video that I played for you guys. And I believe that I articulated my points very well. I believe that I made sound arguments. that make sense and are actually founded in facts. And so that's what I'm rolling with. I just can't stand it. I can't stand it when he doesn't need to do all that. K-Ho does not need to do all this bullshit that he's doing. He does. It just does. It's not necessary because there are people that know better. I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the boxing space, but I mean, this is just—it's too easy to rebut this shit because it's not real. It's not true. None of this shit he said is solid. It's not built on a solid foundation. It's built on a foundation of sand. All right, when you build shit on the foundation of sand, it's easy to make that shit crumble. But it's not necessary, y'all. If you got a problem with Turki Al-Sheikh, if Tank has a problem with Turki Al-Sheikh, then just make it clear that, look, man, if I'm gonna participate in Riyadh season, there are certain things that I want. I'll fight the best fighters in or around my division. I just want my cut of the pay-per-view. I want this. I want just all you got to do is come with your own terms. Come with your own terms. You never know what might happen. Right? You never know. You know, it's yeah, I miss boxing too, Sunshine. You never know what may come if you just humble yourself. How about everybody shows humility? Not just the people that want to fight Tank. Because when you say shit like that, you sound like you don't want Tonka Davis to have any accountability. You don't want to have him to have any humility whatsoever. Everybody got to come to him humble. But he can't humble himself to make the fights happen. Well, that just tells me he don't want the fights to happen. And that's the bottom line to it. And that's where I'm coming from. And that's my point of view. And that's what I got. Dewan says he feels like Ryan cheated totally. Ain't no but then. What's the but coming from? There is no but. Devin won most of the rounds in the score. Won most of those rounds. If he had been dropped 3 times, he probably would have won. But that's not the point. There is no but. He took performance-enhancing drugs. Period. I don't know why we got to add a but after that. I know, J-Man. People do. That's why you let them speak. J-Man, you let people talk so that when they do double talk, you can expose it. And then you just expose it, and then you move on. Ryan Garcia cheated. Period. Ain't no buts. I don't know why we got to add a but to it. But again, that's your prerogative. You can say that, but you're just exposing yourself for a person that really doesn't care if Ryan Garcia cheated. When you say Ryan Garcia totally cheated, but you're saying you don't give a shit. Can we just be real, y'all? If you put a but after Ryan Garcia cheated, that means you don't give a fuck he cheated. That's it. There's nothing more humbling than a precise chin check. Exactly. The one Devin didn't because he won most of those rounds. But they gave it to Ryan because he dropped it 3 times. That's what I'm saying. The point is not whether or not Devin could have won. Because even if Devin won, Ryan Garcia would have been a drug cheat. He still would have been performance enhanced. Devin beating Ryan Garcia would not have changed that. He would have just been a drug cheat who got his ass whooped. But he's still a drug cheat. There is no buts. There would be no buts if Devin won. It wouldn't be, oh, well, Ryan Garcia is a drug cheat, but Devin won. No, I separate those things. Ryan Garcia cheated, period. Whether Devin won or not. Ryan Garcia cheated. He's a drug cheat. He's a piece of shit. And any good showing he had in that fight was due to him being on performance-enhancing drugs, whether Devin won or not. It's that simple. Ain't no buts. It does mean that. It does mean that. I'm missing the point. What's the point? What's the point behind saying Ryan Garcia cheated, but? What's the point of that? I do get your point. You're saying Devin could have won if he did certain things. But that's not the point. Ryan Garcia cheating is over here. Devin's performance is over here. Ryan Garcia performance enhancing drug use is tied to his performance. It's not tied to Devin's performance. Do you get what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia's performance was due to him being on performance enhancing drugs. So whatever occurred or whatever happened due to Ryan Garcia's performance was due to him using performance enhancing drugs. What don't you understand about that? So even if Devin won and Ryan Garcia performed well against Devin, even though he lost, Ryan Garcia's performance would have been tied to him using performance enhancing drugs. Well, don't try to act like I'm not getting it. You don't get it. No, that's you. You don't understand. Why are we talking about what Devin could have done? The fight's a no contest. So on top of Ryan Garcia being a drug cheat, the fight's a no contest. So why are we talking about what Devin could have done when we could be talking about what Ryan should not have done? Ryan should not have used performance enhancing drugs. Ryan should not have used an IV. Ryan should not have disappeared for 9 hours after the weigh-in when he was supposed to get drug tested. Those are things Ryan Garcia should not have done. Ryan Garcia should have come in at 140 pounds. Devin has zero responsibility for anything, for the outcome of that fight. Period. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all, I appreciate you. Much love, like, share, subscribe. And we're gonna keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. I'm throwing truth on there from now on because I'm tired of these motherfuckers lying. Peace.